Good morning. There's nothing on my desk. Hope everybody is good. I decided to create my recording, and I'm just looking for my stamp set. I wasn't prepared. I hit live and was not prepared. All right, so I am going to pull out my catalog. Let me see if I can find it. I want to get the nothing like not being prepared, right? How crazy is this? All right, bear with me for a second. Why can't I find it? I have the catalog here. Oh my goodness, how crazy is this? I can't find it. All right, this is silly. It's not in either of these catalogs. So I'm using the open sleigh. Why can I not find it? It's early here, everybody. And I can't find the open sleigh. All right, let me quick look. See what happens when you are not prepared. And I know what's going to happen. It's going to take me all right, so we're using the one horse open sleigh. And I can't find it in either catalog. Which I just cannot believe. Horse and sleigh. Let's see. All right, so we're using the one horse open sleigh suite that I just can't seem to find in either catalog, which is weird. And we are doing a fun fold card today. We're using the paper and the dies. And we're starting out with petal pink. You're going to just, the colors I'm using for this are a little off. So it is some colors that you would not necessarily create a Christmas card with. And this measures 8 by 4 1/4, and you would score it at 1 1/4, 2 1/2, 5 1/2, 6 3/4. Okay, and we are going to fold in one side, and then the other piece you're going to fold back. Same thing on this side. You're going to fold in, and then you're going to fold back. So now you're left with a piece that's going to open up. Okay? We also have some pecan pie. And I used one of the designer series paper. Let's start with these 4 pieces. We have 4 pieces of pecan pie that measure 3 7/8 by 1. Now these pieces are going to be adhered to these small little areas on the outside of the card. And I'm going to do that now. That really annoys me that I cannot find it. Why am I not being able to find that sleigh? All right, so these pieces are going to go on these small little areas, and I want you to pull it closer to the top than it is on the bottom. And you'll see why as we start creating a little bit more. Now that we have the first piece down, we're going to use that first piece as a guide. And I still have ink under my finger, so I am sorry. So that first piece is going to be our guide to lay down our second piece. Okay? It's early here, so bear with me. Now to get these pieces set, let's get that glue on. The best way would be to now close it up, get this on the front, and again, use this piece on the left. I'm going to lift it up a second as your guide. All right. Open it up, and we're going to add our piece here. So there are our 4 pieces on our background. Then I used the designer series paper, the open sleigh, and I cut out, and I'm going to pull it all out because that one's not there. Nope. All right. So I just want to make sure how this all goes. All right. So you can see I used 1 sheet of designer series paper, and this one goes here. Okay. This is a sheet of designer series paper that I cut down so it would measure 3 3/4 inches. And then I cut it in pieces. So this is 7/8, 7/8. These two pieces on the end are each 7/8 of an inch. The center piece is 2.5. Because I wanted the scene to be continuous. All right, so now that we have this laid out, I'm going to pull this down so we can see what we're doing. And we're going to take our first piece, like I said, I wanted my scene on the back of this card to be continuous. So now we're just going to add the designer series paper to our pecan pie. And we'll jump over here. Oops. All right. So piece by piece, one more here. And I'm just looking. Let me see. Oh, this is going to drive me crazy. If you know, I have been trying to get my room cleaned up so everything is out of place. Let's see if I can find it here. This is so crazy. Plus I have little baskets here. So when I create, I have everything in a basket. It's probably, here it is, right here on my desk. All right. So now that we have our designer series paper and our cardstock, I also have a pecan pie piece for the center, and this measures 3 7/8 by 2 5/8. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put our designer series paper. I'm just going to trim this down just a hair. So I just want to take a little tiny piece off. And I wanted this little deer in the center. That's better. So let's add this designer series paper to our piece. And this is going to go in the center of our card. And again, you just want to use your two outside pieces, oops, to get this in the center. All right, so there is our continuous scene. That's the base of our card. Now, while I'm thinking about it, turn it over. We are going to add a piece of basic pecan pie, 2 5/8 by 3 7/8, and a basic white, 2 1/2 by 3 3/4. And I forgot to open up a new seal. I can see it's going to be one of those days today, right? This one is broke. Don't ever buy that cheap seal because it works for a minute and then that's it. It stops. I found a whole bunch of them cleaning. I found about 10 of them and they work for a couple minutes and then that's it. So do not buy these. All right, so we're not going to put anything on this. We're going to leave it white. Lay it down. And this piece goes in the center of our card on the back because you're going to need a place to write your sentiment. Okay? So that's done. Now what we're going to do is we're going to grab, and I did this in Petal Pink, which is 5 1/2 by 1 1/4. Pecan Pie, 5 3/8 by 1 1/8. And then some snow, which is 5 1/4 by 1. And we're going to adhere all these pieces together. So I want this to go this way. This is the bottom piece of the designer series paper. So you can see, here's the tree line right here. Okay. So I just cut that piece of designer series paper so it would fit together to create the scene. Pick this up so I can scoot this over a little bit more. There we go. Okay, so there is this piece here. Now when you close up this card, we want this to go, we're going to adhere it to these two outside pieces. Now this will allow the card to fold and still be only 5 1/2 inches long. Okay, so we're going to adhere it just up a little bit so we can see some of the petal pink. That's why I said don't worry about these end pieces. And I am going to add a little bit of glue on each side. And we're going to adhere one here. And then once you adhere that, you can close up your card Make sure this is on here straight. Oops, I did it again. Close up your card and then lay it down. Then you'll know it's on there straight, and it should be. All right, so now the card will be 5.5 inches long by 4.25 tall. Either way, okay? But when it stands up like this. So there is our card base. So then I grabbed my dies. Let's move that over a second. I grabbed the tree die and I die cut one in crumb cake and one in pecan pie. Then I grabbed, let's see if it's still here. Yep, the Playing in the Rain dies, and I die cut the fence in crumb cake. Then I stamped and die cut the horse and sleigh. Okay, now I've done it already. Now with the sleigh in the die set, I'm gonna pull these out. You can see it has this piece here. This goes to the sleigh. And then here's the rails for the sleigh. And I die cut these in gold. So after I stamped the horse and sleigh in early espresso and die cut it, I then colored it up. Okay, and you can see here's this bottom of the sled, and you can see that gold piece right here on the top of the sleigh. All right, so I colored it up really nice. I gave the blanket a design, and here is our horse and sleigh. So we're going to go back to our card, and I want my trees to be here on the front, and we're going to just adhere them to this bottom strip. So I'm going to add some glue to the base of this trunk. And we're going to add it. I'm going to have it so it's overlapping this piece a little bit. We're just going to adhere that right there. And then we're going to take the other one, add some glue, and do the same thing. But we're going to pull it down a little bit. Okay. Our horse and sleigh is going to be right here on the front. But I wanted to add a little fence. So we're going to add some glue. I'm going to do it to the ends, and then just some in the middle. And now we're going to add this fence to this piece. All right, so there we have our little fence and our trees. And now I want to put my horse. We want to make sure that we don't really go over the edge too much. Well, you can if you want to fold the card in, but you don't want it to, let's see if we go this way. Yeah, we don't want to go over the edge, and I want my horse popped up. So I am going to grab some dimensionals. I don't have to worry too much about getting the sleigh to hit that piece, but we do have to worry about the horse. Okay, so I'm going to add some larger dimensionals to the back end, which will be perfect. With these smaller dimensionals, I'm going to open a new pack. I'm going to add them down by the horse's hooves. And I'm actually going to cut my edge. I want to make sure that horse is adhered. And we want him popped up. I'm going to lay this down. Again, let's get this. It doesn't necessarily have to be right at the bottom. I'll pull it up a little bit. I want that sleigh to be even. All right. So there's our horse and sleigh. Now you can decide if you want your where you want a sentiment. We even have for this set some snowflakes. So let's add some. I think we'll do the snowflakes in gold, since we have gold on the sleigh. I'm going to pull these out. And they come in. Let me just pull this without. There we go. I pulled this out and the snowflakes stayed. So there's 3 different sizes. There's some large. There's 2 different sizes. Oh no, 3. There's the large, and then there's medium, and then there's smaller ones. Okay. Now you can create a layered snowflake, or you can just add the snowflakes to the background. And I'm going to add the gold. I think I'll put one here. I'll put one down here. And I'm using the small ones. Okay. Just adding a few snowflakes to the back. You can add more or less. Okay. And then we need a sentiment. And I think I'll do the sending warmth your way. And let's see, here it is. And I'm always finding gems all over my stuff. All right, and I'm going to, believe it or not, I am going to use early espresso, which is not in my closet. Let's see. Is it over here? Here it is. All right, so we'll use early espresso. I need a little piece of basic white. Let's see if I could find a piece that will fit this sentiment. That won't. Here we go. Here's some pieces that I'll just have to cut down. All right, so we have sending warmth your way. I am going to get some of this ink off my fingers. Get this in here. Let's go this way. And trim it down. I'm going to try to get some cut off of here. So I'm just getting an eyeball. There we go. All right, so we have sending warmth your way. And I'm going to trim it off here. And I don't really want too much I don't even know if I want this on the front. I think the scene is just so pretty. I really don't want to hide anything. Let's turn this around. And I am going to add it to the back of the card. I just don't want to ruin a pretty little scene with a big giant sentiment. So I'll add the sentiment here to the back. Okay. And then we have our card. How pretty, right? And again, it closes either way. And there's today's fun fold card. I hope you like it. Sorry for the mix-up in the beginning. It's early. I have so many things to get done today. And now it's time to take that dog out for a walk. So have a great day, and I'll talk to everybody soon. Bye-bye.